An interview with Bill Nelson, Global Vice President of Marketing with Axxiom Manufacturing. Bill, tell me what made Schmidt decide to develop the Terra valve.
Within our travels, we recognized that the majority of the world, aside from the US and Australia, run relatively small nozzles compared to our marketplace. And being that they're smaller nozzles, they have less abrasive consumption throughout a blasting period. And all of the valves, including Schmidt and everybody else's, were designed in such a manner to give you much higher flow rates of abrasive than what these smaller nozzles need. The idea was for us to come up with a smaller frame with Schmidt technology involved, but still capable of delivering enough abrasive to feed a number 6 kind of a range of nozzles. As we developed that valve, we started playing with it, and we recognized that with the majority of abrasive, the flow characteristics of the Terra valve is actually able to feed the bigger nozzles. So we went through a learning curve, and during that learning curve, we realized that the smaller frame is very attractive to the marketplace because that means you can keep your vessel lower. The lower the vessel is, the more ergonomical it is for people to refill that vessel. Now we can keep that vessel as short as possible, and we save that labor, the intensity of that labor, off of those operators' hands. We also integrated our XL technology. And what the XL technology is there's additional wipers and sleeves and mechanisms within the inner workings of the Terra valve that make it a very durable valve in dusty conditions. XL technology has proven to be a game changer in those dusty environments because there's technology that keeps that dust down within the carbide or the hardened regions, and it prevents that valve from seizing up as fast as the majority of other valves would.
Explain the reasoning behind the Schmidt Pistol Grip Deadman family.
We are constantly looking at improving the safety level of product. One of the biggest fears that we have is somebody getting hurt. A lot of operators kind of cheat the safety system. They'll tape a Deadman handle down, they'll put a hose gasket over it. The operators do that because of the comfort level. Holding a Deadman on a hose perpetually during the blasting operation, that's not easy. Operators really like the pistol grip style because they're able to bring it back from their nozzle to the point to where their opposing hand is controlling the nozzle and their operating hand is simply controlling the Deadman. It's a much more comfortable operating Deadman.
What are the differences between the Schmidt Amphiblast unit and other wet abrasive blasting units?
One of the biggest key elements is that a wet tank technology, you're limited in the fact that it is solely a wet blast unit. You cannot dry blast with those technologies. We wanted to go a different route. And what the Amphiblast is this a wet or a dry operation? It's standard Schmidt controls. The blast pod itself, the controls on it are what the world is accustomed to, so they know how to operate it, they know how to maintain it, they know what the efficiencies are that they can gain out of it. And then we incorporated in a water system to inject the water right down at the metering valve. The reason that that is pertinent is that we're actually using the blast hose itself as a mixing chamber. So no longer are the contractors required to have one set of dry blast equipment for 75% of their jobs and then a wet blast unit for 25% of their jobs. They can use one package to do all jobs concerned, and it's at their discernment whether it's wet or dry.
What other new products are you releasing?
The biggest release that we brought to this show is a continuation of the Amphiblast family. Last year at SSPC, we released our Amphiblast Lite, which is a 3 cubic foot portable unit, not a skid mounted unit. Contractors out there really like it because they're able to take it into confined spaces, areas where they would have to run 400 feet of blast hose instead of getting the unit on location. And as we were listening to these contractors, we also realized that they're relatively small jobs in comparison. So what we released is our Amphiblast Mini, which is a 1 cubic foot with Amphiblast controls on it. It's wet or dry. Same functionality of the rest of our Amphiblast family, but it's on a 1 cubic foot frame Therefore, its mobility is all the much more, even above and beyond the Amphiblast Light.
For more about Schmidt abrasive blasting products, parts, and accessories, please visit schmidtabrasiveblasting.com.